Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYNT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. We begin tonight with a sad update out of Whitley County. Last night we first told you about a toddler who was found dead in Corbin. Tonight, Kentucky State Police confirmed to Mountain News that 2-year-old Aubrey Rose died after being in a hot car. Now, it is not clear what led up to it. Troopers say their investigation is ongoing, but they do not plan on pressing charges against the parents. The accident marks the first hot car death in Kentucky this year. So far, 26 children have died from similar incidents across the country. Experts warn it could happen to any parent. According to kidsandcars.org, you should make a habit of opening the back door of your car every time you park to make sure no one is left behind. Keep your car doors locked at all times to prevent them from getting in. And teach your children to honk the horn if they find themselves stuck in a car. Police say they are still searching for a Laurel County woman who's been missing since Thursday night. Officers say Holly Parsley reportedly walked into the woods in the Bald Rock area of Laurel County Thursday evening and has not been seen or heard from since. Police say the area she allegedly walked into has dangerous terrain, which is a major concern. Officers add they've been trying to ping her phone and have not come up with anything yet.
In this particular instance, we're just not sure what's happened out there, and so that does make us concerned. All the cases does, but this one especially, because we don't know any other circumstances besides she walked into the woods and disappeared.
If you have any information on Parsley's disappearance, you should call the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. A former longtime magistrate in Perry County has died. Freddie Combs was a U.S. Air Force veteran and served as District 2 magistrate for 20 years. He was also a Shriner and member of the Krypton Masonic Lodge 905. His visitation will be from 11 until his funeral at 1 p.m. all Monday at Maggard's Mountain View Chapel in Hazard. Freddie Combs was 78. Black Jewel coal miners continue to stay on those railroad tracks in Harlan County. They've been there for 5 days and do not plan on leaving anytime soon. The community has continuously supported these miners, from spending time at the tracks to organizing fundraisers. WYMT's Emily Bennett talked to some of those supporters about why they are doing everything they can for these miners.
Hardship many cannot imagine.
You know, there's families, there's kids, and this is real life trauma. I mean, these people ain't sitting down here just because they want to. They're sitting down here because they're losing everything they own.
Through all the struggles, the miners have found endless support.
Big majority of these people that are affected by this and that are here right now as we speak, that worked with me or for me for years in the mines.
Scott Shook worked in the mines for almost 20 years before getting out of the business, but these men are still his family.
Coal miners here are the backbone of our community. You know, without these guys and their wages, then, you know, people like me that are trying to run small businesses and other businesses, I mean, there's no disposable money into the economy.
He's been on the tracks for days, supporting the miners, along with many other people, including musician Tyler Hughes.
Glad to see all the youngins out dancing, and they were blowing bubbles and having a big time out here, so glad that we could be part of it.
He came with his banjo, wanting to bring smiles to this hard time.
It's really admirable of all these men and women to be out here and have their families out here. I think it really speaks to the true spirit of people of the mountains.
And the support does not stop at the tracks. Letcher County hosted a Glow for Coal 5K Friday night to raise more money.
We had a guy come in just now, and he said he was 3.5 hours away.
The goal for the 5K was $10,000, and they've passed that goal.
We've had such great response from volunteers who want to come out and help work events that we've had. People sign up and donate their money. We've had people give money who really can't afford to give, and everybody's just giving from the heart.
Support that runs deeper than the mines these men work in. In Harlan and Letcher counties, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Letcher County held a fundraiser last weekend as well. Between that fundraiser and the 5K, they have raised more than $13,000 for the miners. For some, it was the last straw. Since Black Jewel filed for bankruptcy, a few miners are looking for a new start and a new career. The Hazard Community and Technical College Lineman Training Program is giving them that opportunity. The program is allowing miners to move from below ground to above. Now, Black Jewel miner David Estep says there are some nerves, but overall he's excited about the opportunity.
I think everybody's a little nervous, but we're blessed and it's a great opportunity, so we're grateful.
EKSEP is partnering with HCTC to help the miners pay for the training. It lasts about 12 weeks and will provide the miners with many skill sets aside from lineman work.
Well, it's been a beautiful day for some in the mountains, but for others, like us here in Hazard, it was a little bit rainy, especially later this evening, or really earlier this evening, excuse me. You'll notice Interstate 64 into Moorhead. They're the ones that have seen a gorgeous day today. You'll see a few clouds here and there, that sun setting, and just absolutely gorgeous conditions on that side of town. Now, as we look at the area, especially to the south and east, we were dealing with those scattered showers and storms throughout the day, definitely widespread and heavy at times. I know that I felt like we heard rain all day here in parts of Perry County, but good news is we're finally seeing those drier conditions. That continues as we head into the weekend as well. Temperatures, well, they're not too bad, anywhere from about mid to upper 60s to lower 70s, a little bit warmer up to the north where they have just been on the drier side throughout the day. Those dew points in the upper 60s to lower 70s, definitely making it feel on the muggy side this evening. I know I stepped out for dinner earlier and it just felt absolutely muggy out there. Definitely warmer than it actually is. But good news is we're going to hang on to a stray chance as we head into the weekend, but sunshine does continue and does look like we have a drier start to the work week as well. I'll have a look at that full forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
All right, Paige, thank you. She held out hope for so long until there was no hope left to hold on to. Tonight, Savannah Spurlock's mother talked with us about her family's search for answers. Spurlock disappeared in January. Her body was found 6 months later. One of the men she was last seen with now faces charges. Spurlock's mother told Garrett Weimer it's been hard, but she can finally grieve.
I pray that the pain lessens more and more each day.
Ellen Spurlock spends a lot of time these days in prayer.
I pray for her kids.
This family needs it.
Even though there's closure, it's still a day-to-day process because I miss her and I know, on this earth, I'll never see her again.
6 months they waited. Now they know the worst things they could think of came true.
It's horrible. It's changed our lives forever, and I certainly don't want anybody else to go through this.
Spurlock says she still has more questions that need answers. Now, as attention shifts to the courtroom, she says she knows it's going to be a long, hard road.
I would say to him...
Hard to find the words to what she'd say to David Sparks, charged in the case.
There's no words for me to describe the meanness and the monsterness of this guy.
But Spurlock says they've gotten a lot of support.
We're not alone. We have the love of the community, and I do really appreciate that.
And Spurlock says they can take solace in so many happy memories with Savannah.
Just the brightness, the spark of life she had, the kindness, it just evolved into her as a young woman.
Still, this is something they never expected and now can't change.
There's so much more I would have loved to say to her that I really wish I could have. Hold your loved ones close and let them know how much you care about them.
Garrett Weimer, WYMT Mountain News.
Ellen Spurlock tells us she is grateful for the support and tips from the community and the investigators who still have not given up. She says they'll continue to fight for justice for Savannah. For 26 years, thousands of people have gathered at the Osborne Brothers Hometown Festival in Hyden. From picking banjos to square dancing, the event continues to be enjoyed by all ages. You may just think this festival is just for listening to music, but the money raised goes to local volunteer fire departments.
It becomes personal. It's not just a business pursuit anymore. It's something that has to do with all of our heritage, our love for bluegrass, our love for the community, love for the mountains.
The festival will continue tomorrow. A 94-year-old Knott County veteran received a big honor today. WYMT's Madison Pergram explains why the community will remember this veteran's name long after he is gone.
The the sounds of a 21-gun salute. A military honor honoring one of Knott County's own.
To see everybody out here, and I'm not much for big crowds, but I'm enjoying this.
94-year-old Gid Frazier, a sergeant and veteran of both World War II and Korea.
It taught me I could learn more traveling than I could going to school.
He signed up at 17 years old and would not change anything.
You wouldn't believe we enjoyed it. We had a job to do, and we're going to do it anyway.
Now 77 years later, honoring a member of what many called the greatest generation.
His trail that he's left behind through his armed services, and we can't honor him enough and thank him enough for all he's done.
By dedicating a bridge in his name.
Most bridges are dedicated in memory, but this is in honor of this man.
Judge Executive Jeb Dobson says this is not only for his military service.
He's done so much for this community.
But for the impact he's made since he's been home.
That's what makes it so special, that he's here to enjoy this moment with us and enjoy it with him.
Leaving Frazier with a special feeling.
It makes me feel good.
Just a small act for a lifetime of service. In Knott County, Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
So glad he got to see this honor. Frazier earned 5 Bronze Stars during his military service. The bridge dedicated in his name is located on Highway 160 in Knott County. Dolly Parton, the podcast, the music legend, is teaming up with award-winning Radiolab co-host Jad Abumrad, who's originally from Nashville, on Dolly Parton's America. The 9-part series examines what Parton's life indicates about the United States. That series is set for release this fall. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, Puerto Ricans took to the streets as their controversial governor stepped down. And more than 1 month later, a missing North Carolina girl is found.
And those rain chances do continue as we head into the weekend, but I promise that weekend's still looking pretty good. We'll talk about that and more coming up in just a few short minutes.